Dear children, let us begin with the land resource second session. In the first session, we have learnt about how land is an important resource, how the land of India is divided into a variety of relief features. Moreover, we have studied land utilization in which we did this particular section, in which we have seen that in India the land is utilized for forest, land not available for cultivation, other uncultivated land, fallow lands and net sown area. So with this, each of the specifications we have done the last session. Today let us begin with the land use pattern in India. Our today's topic will be over these 2 pages, where we have the 2 pie charts which is showing the land use pattern of India of 2 different years. It is showing of 1960-61 land use pattern and also showing 2014 and 15 as per the latest record. We have to follow the latest book in order to learn the further things actually. Now let us begin. This is the pie chart in which you will see there are various parameters they have given. Now in the index, whichever points they have given, they all we have studied in the land utilization. In this section, we will be comparing both the pie charts and we will find out the possible reasons behind it. While studying the reason, we should note it down also because they are important to analyze. Let us begin with the first one. The first is the forest cover. Now the forest cover of India, you will see it was 18.11 earlier, and in the 15-16 you will have it as the 23.3. Yes, it is good thing that we can see that forest cover of India has increased. Now why the forest cover of India might have increased? We have many answers. People have become aware nowadays. People have started doing the afforestation also. But the actual reason behind this is in the counting, that which area we are counting under the forest. Under the forest in India, we are counting even the plantations. Now plantations, if you remember, this is a type of agriculture where the single type of plant is grown on a huge amount of land, and they are generally the single type of plant itself, like the sugar cane we have tea, we have coffee, banana, rubber, such as. Now according to the Indian calculation, the plantations are considered under the forest cover, and this difference we can clearly find out because on one hand our figures are showing that the forest cover is increasing, but on the another hand we find that the amount of animals and plants, they are getting extinct a lot. So if the forest cover is increasing, the depletion amount of these plants and animals do not match, and there lies the fault that we are counting the plantation, which is a single type of thing or single type of plant, which we have made by cutting the diversifying plants and the forest basically. So this is one of the reason also that why in India the forest cover is increasing, as we are counting the plantations also inside the forest cover. Moving on to the second topic, that is the red color one, barren and the unculturable wasteland. Now obviously barren land and it is unculturable. So unculturable, it means cannot be cultivated. Uncultivated, which cannot be cultivated. Now these lands, they were less, they have reduced of course in the next or in the recent years. So the reason very obvious, they have been used for urbanization and industrialization and some kind of non-agricultural purposes. Third one, area under non-agricultural usage. Earlier non-agricultural usage 44.95, now it has increased to 8.7. So yes, as barren and wastelands have reduced, these will definitely increase because we have used those lands under non-agricultural usage, and that's why this is an increase over there. We have a purple color area which is showing permanent pasture and grazing land. Now the word permanent over here is very important. Permanent pasture lands. Basically pasture lands has to be the permanent land utilization pattern. Because if we think that pasture lands and all these are of no use, then where the population, cattle population basically who is dependent on them will go. So here you have the question that how we able to feed or how are we able to feed our huge cattle population on the pasture land if it is reducing, and if the land is reducing then what will be the consequences of it. Now if you will see over here that pasture lands they have reduced, obviously this will be giving number of effects. First of all, our livestock, the cattle population will not get the proper food and fodder to eat. Secondly, it will affect their production capacity like the milk and all, the dairy products also. Third, they may encroach the agricultural lands or the agricultural standing crops, which will disturb. Fifth, the food security, because agriculturist, a farmer is having an estimate that he or they may get this much amount of crop this year, but if it is fully eaten by the livestock, their food production estimate will disturb. The animals will start dying, and as a result food chain will also disturb, and moreover if the livestock is dying then it will directly affect our economy also. So from no side actually we can afford to reduce the permanent pasture land. So we should always have a part of land permanently used for the pasture lands. Moving on to the next, that is area under miscellaneous tree crops. While constructions of roads and any other thing, this tree crop under the area under tree crops and all, it fluctuates. It can reduce or sometimes it can increase also. We have a next category, that is culturable wasteland. Now this is culturable. Culturable, that means it can be cultivable. Now this land if we want to cultivate, obviously we have to put more efforts in the form of fertilizers, pesticides and manures also. Now this particular section of the pie chart, earlier it was more, now it has reduced. So it might be used for some kind of urbanization or industrialization region. We have the next category, that is fallow, but then this is a other than current fallow land, purple color. Now this other than current fallow land, earlier it was 3.50, now it has reduced to 3.6. Obviously as it is a fallow land, it can be left uncultivated for this year or it can be left uncultivated another year. If you remember, other than current fallow lands, they were left uncultivated for 1 to 5 years. It means they can be left uncultivated for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years and likewise till 5 years. If it is more than 5 years, it will be obviously culturable wasteland. But other than current fallow land, the uncultivated period is 1 to 5 years. In the textbook, they are giving you something more about these particular lands. According to them, these lands are generally cultivated after 2 to 3 years because they need some extra expenditure. We have to put extra manure, extra fertilizers and all. Hence, these lands are cultivated after every 2 to 3 years. And whenever these lands are cultivated, our net sown area for that particular year goes very high. It reaches to 54%, and that's why you get a question over there that the percentage of NSA in India, it comes to about 54% after every 2 to 3 years. And in this you have to give the reference of the other than current fallow land, which is directly given in your textbook. Moving to the next land, that is current fallow land. Current fallow land, earlier it was less, now it has increased. So maybe it will happen because if it is current fallow land, the present year, that is 1516, might be a year where more number of fallow lands have been left. And at last you are having the most satisfying feature of our land utilization, and that is net sown area. Net sown area, you will find maximum amount of India's land is under the agriculture, and this is a positive feature definitely. This is most satisfying feature. If you get a question, that is, what is the most satisfying feature of India's land use? It is our NSA, that means area under agriculture. This is the most satisfying feature, that we are producing maximum of whatever we require in our own land itself. There is one more specification given according to the National Forest Policy, which was passed in the year 1952, that any country, they should have, whatever might be the area, they should have 33% of the total area of their landmass under the forest cover. If you will see, we are not on the 33%, we are much below than that. So we have to do more afforestation. Likewise, there are few more questions, and the last question which we have, that is, the percentage of NSA vary from one state to another. Justify with suitable examples. Now here I will explain with an example itself. Let us take a place called as Punjab or Haryana also. We know that with Punjab and Haryana, their maximum land is under cultivation. It means the NSA of that region is more than 80% also. 80% of Punjab and Haryana's land is under cultivation. Now obviously the reason behind it, that they have a very fertile land, they are the part of the northern plain, they have good water supply over there, the favorable climate is there, technology wise also these regions are very sound, that they can go ahead with green revolution and all. So because of that, in Punjab and Haryana we find the NSA is highest, of course, 80% and all. Whereas if I give you the example of Andaman and Nicobar Islands, or maybe the northeastern states such as Arunachal Pradesh, Mizoram, Nagaland, now these places, their NSA is very less, hardly 10% also not. Now why it is so less? Because they have very difficult topography, their terrain is not suitable for agriculture. Water supply, fresh water supply is not there, maximum area is under the forest cover they are having. So as a result, there are many geographical factors and human factors that is not allowing them to go ahead with agriculture in these regions. So here you have the question, percentage of NSA vary from one state to another. We have to select any state where the NSA varies and justify our answer. So this was in short that how the land is getting utilized in India for various, of course, things, and how these uses are changing according to the time. Thank you.